Hello fellow Minecraft addicts, Jarbo here. Today we are going to work on converting our raid farm into an iron farm. Actually, we're going to stack an iron farm on top of our raid farm so that we can get iron and all of the raid drops, namely the witch drops, from the same farm. So we are going to cut over to Creative World and see if we can figure out how to make this work. So I'll meet you guys over there. I am obviously in my test world. I don't want to give you a peek of what we're looking at today. So I have discovered that I really need iron. I need it for hoppers and everything else that I'm trying to build. So that's what we're working on today. So if we look over here, we can see that I have a failed attempt to build an iron farm. We'll go over here and take a look at it. And I'll be honest, I think what happened here is just the villagers, for whatever reason, I didn't put them in the right order. But basically, it won't spawn golems. It spawns cats. I've checked the data on the village using Universal Minecraft Editor, and it looks like a good village with 20 villagers and 20 beds, and everything seems to be right. But for whatever reason, this farm will not spawn golems. I really don't know what happened. So I built this one, and I basically did the exact same thing over here. I did change the block palette just a little bit. And this one works. I wonder what happened there. So you have to have over here, because of where this is at, I have to need string on top of these leaves or they develop snow, and then the raid parties spawn on top of the leaves or on top of the snow, and it creates a mess. But anyway, the biggest difference that I did here is I put 10 villagers in each corner instead of 5 in each corner. Maybe that's what made the difference. I'm really not sure. I did build this on top of the raid farm that we're using in the survival world, in a creative copy of that world, and it spawned iron golems while I had a 1x1 hole for the raid to fall into the trident killer with, but it wouldn't work right. It was really slow because the raid party would get stuck up on top of the hole, and the golem would be fighting the raid party, and witches were throwing potions, and evokers were spawning vexes, and it was rough. So I decided to go to a 2x2, and I built that here. And let me show you down here. We're using a command block right here with a etho hopper clock to activate it and give me the bad omen effect. It gives it to me once every 30 seconds, so pretty close to what I think you get from the actual pillager outpost in the survival world. I put boats on here to take care of the vexes because I got killed by a vex during one of my tests. What happens is the evokers target the golems and start spawning vexes before they can get killed, and then obviously the vexes killed me. But this one also has the side effect of spawning fish, because this was a river biome. Right here you can see the river was coming through here before I flattened this out. We won't get that in our in the survival world when we build this, but so I just want to show you quickly what we did. So this was the first test I did, and I let it run for 2 hours. I did not have impaling 5 tridents in the trident killer. It does have water in the bottom of it, so impaling does count. I got more saddles and more totems than that, but I just kept one double chest of each. Got quite a few books. Got a whole bunch of armor, but that's not really what we're after. What we want to see is how we do on iron. In 2 hours, we got what's that, 11 stacks and a little bit of iron, which is 751 iron if my memory serves me, or 714 iron actually, and that works out to like 357 per hour. It's not bad. I'm not gonna call that the rate for this farm because there's so many variables, but about 350, and that seems pretty in line with what you should get from the size iron farm. We got 28 stacks of emeralds, which is like 1,700, I think, emeralds. So about 800, 950, a little over 950 per hour, I guess. So that's pretty good. Obviously, a good raid farm will make more emeralds, and a good iron farm probably make more iron. But this is a combined farm, so it's not going to do quite as good. And then I did a 1 hour test with Impaling 5, and we got 7 and a part stacks of iron, which is a little more per hour. Not quite as many emeralds, I don't think. Yeah, because we had more in the other test. So the rates aren't quite as good on the emeralds, a little better on the iron, but that's all variables that can change. Some gunpowder, redstone, sugar, all the normal witch drops, arrows. But yeah, so I wanted to do some more tests, but I ran into the problem with the vexes, and then the last time so when I get done, the way I clean this out is right before I test it, I break all the chests. Well, the one where I got killed, it was filled to the top because I did another 2 hour test, and I forgot to put this chest back in, so it spit all the drops on the ground right over there. So the last test I did was no good, but I decided to go ahead and make this video. I'm not going to test it anymore. I'm not building this to advertise the greatest rates ever. I'm building this because I want iron, and I'm going to build it in my survival world. It's pretty standard iron farm. A bit of a bigger spawn platform, I think, than I've used before. I'm not sure, but what it does do is it doesn't really matter which one of these beds becomes the center of the village. That red one is the first one I placed. I haven't gone in and looked at the data to see where the center of the village is. Again, I don't care. I'm not going for the absolute greatest rates ever. But all of these beds have 8 blocks on the outside of them, which is how far away from the center, or the center of the village that iron golems will spawn. So it should maximize the amount of spawn spaces, no matter which bed is technically the center. And then we have the 2 platforms, one on the bottom, one on top. The raids spawn just fine on the same platforms as the golem spawn. You get the cats. We are using a different trident killer than I usually use. It's not block for block the same as the waterlogged advanced trident killer that Silent built, but it's based on that. I watched the video a couple weeks ago, and I roughly based this on that so that we could get the Impaling 5 effect, because we're not dropping the raid anymore, or the iron golems, and we don't want to sit here forever trying to kill them, and it makes a pretty big difference in how quickly they die. The trident killer has got 2 thick walls so that nothing hopefully will get pushed through the wall. We do get the experience out of there, but occasionally we do get a little cat that comes out, and the small cat comes out here and hangs out with me for a little while before it falls off the platform, I guess, to its death. I'm not sure. Some of them get killed in the trident killer, some of them, like I said, come out under that slab. Anyway, so yeah, this is what we're going to build in this episode. I'm going to start building it in my survival world. I'm not going to go block for block, but I will keep you guys posted along the way of the trials and tribulations of building this in survival. Obviously, it is a lot of resources. I am going to build it on top of the raid farm that we currently have, so I have to tear that one down first. So I'm going to go get started doing that, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, remember when I was building a house and I hadn't lit up the attic area, and I said, oh, it won't be that big a deal, I don't spend much time here and all that? Well, yeah, it's a big deal. So a creeper came and paid me a visit as I was putting stuff away, I don't know if there's any more up here. No. It's the only place it could have spawned because it can't get through the door. And it's all floor lit down here, so that's definitely where it came from. Anyway, so I figured I'd show you guys that. That stinks. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up the mess. Hello everyone. So as you can see, I chopped down the whole top of the raid farm here. We're still in the same AFK spot. We'll leave it the same. And there's our minecart. I'm gonna probably redo all this, but I decided to leave it in there for right now. Here's our villager that we had in this farm. We're gonna go ahead and probably take him up to the top level after I'm gonna build the main part of the farm first, the trident killer and the 2 spawning platforms, and then I'll put the beds in. I'll take him up to the top level and grab another villager from over there and put it up at the top level. Then I can use them as a breeder and breed villagers, and as they grow up, take them and move them into the permanent location of them there in the corner of the farm. So just a quick update, show you where we're at, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
Hey guys, well, I have a predicament here. I have a Fletcher in my container for my toolsmiths. I'm gonna try to... Oh, I got a toolsmith. Oh, there, we got rid of the Fletcher. I like minecarts for moving villagers. It seems to be the easiest. You can make them go where they want to go, and you can push them out wherever you need them to be. One thing that I didn't think about, they all want to ride the minecart. Now I got a Fletcher stuck in there, and this is the smith side. The reason I'm trading with them is so that they can never, even if something happens and they get delinked from their workstations, they will always be a toolsmith. They're locked into that trade. So yeah, villagers are a lot of fun, but what we're gonna do is just keep working on getting these villagers sorted out and put in there. We need 10 in this pot over here, and I'll show you what that looks like down here. It's just basically 10 workstations. There's the 4 sides and then that corner block, so they can reach that as well, so that they can work. And as long as they work, then once it's all set up, the iron golems will spawn, and they'll be safe in there. And I'll cover that all up so that they can't accidentally get killed by the raid or something like that. But yeah, a little bit frustrating working with villagers, but this is the best design. This is the best system that I could come up with to get them all where I need them to go and be able to trade with them before I put them in there. So if you have a better idea, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I'm going to keep going with this, and I'll show you the progress when it's all done. Hi guys, well, I got it all converted. It is now a stacked iron and raid farm. So we'll take a fly over here real quick and look back over, and yep, it's pretty much exactly the same as what we built in the creative world. Let's see if we can land up here. We'll just take the water elevator. As you can tell, I'm excellent at flying. We'll run up here and take a look at the trident killer. It's just a trident killer. It's pretty much the same. That is so loud. All of the golems and the raid parties and everything drop down in here. You get killed by the trident killer. It does have, it's waterlogged, so the impaling tridents kill them much faster than the regular tridents would. I built this little leaf box to keep me safe from anything that might get pushed through the walls or somehow ends up out here on the spawn platform, because I was finding a lot of indicators out here. I haven't recently, so I think maybe they were coming down my scaffolding that I was using to build it with when I was testing it. I'm gonna get down because that horn is so loud. Yeah, and then I've been farming a little bit of bamboo, as you can see. I've continued to farm the sugarcane and the wheat and the sheep. I don't have any shears in there right now, but I made a few upgrades to our storage system down here. I just added slices for more emeralds, some string for the cats, and iron for the golems. I'm gonna add one more slice for the iron, but the redstone for the burner that deletes the overflow up there is interfering with it. So for right now, we're still getting one slice full of all the raid drops, and then we have the normal witch drops that we were getting before. We added a bunch of chests to put emerald blocks in because we are getting a lot of emerald blocks. We need to get a trading hall going so we can start using those for something useful. And then back here, I built a sorter to sort all of the wool. It sorts it by color, and the 8 from this side of the farm up there end up on this side, all sorted out, just using a basic sorter, the one that Silent Whisper designed. I omit the obsidian because I don't have much of it, and I don't really need it because I'm not going to be down here when this is running, so I'm not going to hear the pistons going on and off anyway. So then the other side is just a mirror image, and it has all of the brighter colors on this side. I have a system here that you can't really see because it's behind a wall now, that takes all of the poppies that the golems drop and turns it into bone meal. As you can see, I've been running this farm quite a bit, testing it, trying to get all the bugs worked out of it, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And now we have a pretty much, I mean, for the most part, unlimited supply of iron, and so now we can start working on some of the other things that I want to build. One of those is the Guardian Farm. I want to build some type of massive villager trading system where I can get all of the cool trades that the villagers have, not just the books, but some of the other ones that they have as well. So, but I think that's where I'm going to wrap this video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you didn't, you can do that too, but if you do that, let me know in the comments what I could do to make it better to get you over to that like side. And again, if you want to follow along as we build more farms and everything, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on. You'll get notified every time I post a video, and you can watch as we build this world. But that's where I'm going to end it, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!